The Great Britain Steppers outgunned Australia in a scintillating exhibition of four-tackle football at Perpignan. Great Britain trailed by 4 points 10 minutes from the end, but ran out convincing 27-21 winners. Australia took the field as 6-4 on favourite after being billed as the biggest, fastest and toughest side to leave Australia in the past 20 years. But the old English axiom ruled the day: brains will always beat brawn. The English side taught the Australians a lesson in footwork, backing up and strategy. "All our moves paid off," English coach Jim Challinor said after the game. "We won because we stuck to playing football," he added. There was certainly plenty of heat on the game throughout, with Australia coming off second best. Despite the intensive training the Australian team had experienced before arriving in France, the team was leaden-legged in the closing stages. Rich French food plus a lack of match play had taken its toll. There is no substitute for match play, and England claimed this was their biggest advantage over Australia. Despite the humiliating defeat, the Australian players refused to recognise the English side as a threat to their cup chances. But England produced some dynamic football via the hands and determination of second rower Phil Lowe and half-back Steve Nash. Lowe was the man of the match. He completely bullied Arthur Beetson and John O'Neill out of the game. Lowe has blossomed into a matured forward. His thundering runs up the middle caused havoc. Each time he was able to stand up in the tackle and unload the pass. Nash is cast in the Tommy Bishop mould. His tricky footwork created numerous breaks for the Englishman. A small crowd of about 8,000, including nearly 1,000 Australians, sat in warm sunshine inside a ground unfit for wild horses. After only 2 minutes, England drew blood. Captain and winger Clive Sullivan finished off a brilliant team movement to score wide out. Prop Terry Clausen, weighing 15.5 stone, converted the try and England led 5-0. Clausen later landed another 5 goals from as many attempts. Australia opened up play with Bobby Fulton the spearhead. In the 7th minute, Australia levelled when Fulton darted his way through defence. Langlands converted. 2 minutes later, Tommy Raudonikis dived over for a try after Fulton had kicked through. Langlands converted and Australia led 10-5. The game was being played at a furious pace. There were several heated clashes. The English defence was playing inspired football. Each time, Beetson and O'Neill were in possession. Not one, not two, but 3 white-clad jumpers were on top of him. Referee Claude Tessier was being particularly lenient with the scrums, but he was allowing the game to move along with only a minimum of stoppages. He even allowed the heated exchanges to simmer out. Tessier, an ex-French international, knew what test match football was about. The game was only 20 minutes old when Lowe ripped through the Australian defence and scored with apparent ease. Clausen converted and the scores were deadlocked. 8 minutes from half-time, John Atkinson scored a brilliant try and Clausen goaled. Tessier awarded an England penalty as Elford took a swing at Atkinson while scoring, a rule that is not in the rule book. From the Tessier penalty, Clausen kicked a superb goal. With only 2 minutes remaining till the break, Langlands landed his 3rd successful goal. England led 17-12 at the changeover. Langlands was in fine kicking form. 4 minutes into the second half, he landed another penalty goal, and Australia now only trailed by 3 points. 5 minutes later, Fulton bobbed over his second try, and a seesawing battle had developed. It was top-calibre football, with both sides throwing the ball about at random. Australia started to get on top, and in the 56th minute they took a 1-point lead when McCarthy rang up a field goal. Fulton was wrecking the English defence. He sailed over for his hat-trick of tries in the 62nd minute. Australia led 21-17, but England got its second wind. 10 minutes from the end, 5'8" Dennis O'Neill ran through the Australian defence with ridiculous ease. Clausen goaled, and England led by a point. Then 6 minutes from the final whistle, England wrapped up the exciting and often spectacular game by scoring another converted try. It was hooker Mike Stevenson who followed through a kick over the top to score under the posts. England were the better side on the day. Australia could offer no excuses. A lack of teamwork and failure to take command in the forwards made it an uphill battle. 2 minutes after half-time, Ray Brannigan was replaced by Paul Sate. 6 minutes from the end, Arthur Beetson walked off, and this caused a drastic reshuffle, as Dennis Ward was the replacement